Anytime now. There it is.
Hooray! We're live.
Hello. We're live.
We're live.
One day I'll do a polished stream starting soon. Thing like I have one for my channel where I mute myself and I can, warn everyone. I can go live softly, without hey everyone, I'm here. But,
don't those countdowns drive you crazy though? Unless they're funny.
I don't do many countdowns.
Got to be able to watch them other than going, yeah, 30, 29, 38. Come on.
I've seen some pretty cool ones that people are doing, but I don't do the countdown. I just put stream starting soon. I'll be with you when I'm with you,
Some of these podcasters have been doing openings, before they get to the camera. Instead of countdown, some of them run for 10, 11 minutes.
There are some long intros. Was one of oh crap, whose show was that? I think this Larry show. They joke with him about his intro was longer than his show.
Yeah,
and like, he's got the anime dancing girls on loop and all that.
I'm gonna do one day. I'll do a whole hour-long intro. I'm like, is he ever gonna get to the show? Never.
Hang on, kids. Our show will start in just a moment. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, here we go.
We should do that. I think I'll put some drive-in infomercials in.
Yeah, that would be
funny.
The
show will start in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
It's going to be like the movie previews. Your movie will begin in 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
That's probably like the most memorable SNL skit that I can, at least in like the recent cast, like at least 10 years ago, where they had this thing, and it went on forever, where it was just preview after preview. You'll see this couple watching a movie, and there's this one guy behind him, and it's been like, I don't know, 7 or 8 hours of previews. And there's like the two people in the front are dead, I think, and then the guy in the back's like eating popcorn. He's like, "That looks funny," all into it.
Raging Asian versus Cages. Hey yo, the crazy bitches are tuning in with a watch party. Thank you, ladies. Appreciate it.
There you go.
All right. Joe says, all right, Varian, who's being poisonous and their passion for comics? We'll get to that. And, Grant says, evening, ladies and germs. Evening, Grant. And Raging says, it's all started off a sexy intro. And Joe says, sup, Raging. Yeah. So, I'm probably going to get myself a drink tonight, so I'm going to get loose-lipped. Excuse me. I apologize beforehand if that happens. Let me roll the intro. And we will get to the show, introductions and all that good stuff. Get that out the way.
You want me to get it?
I got it. Here we go, everyone. Hang tight. Here's the intro.
The following program contains violence, disturbing imagery, nudity, and, oh my God, why are you even watching this? Just run away. This shit is going to give you nightmares. For real. The program is rated TV MA NSFW OMFG GAF TTV BYGAS. Why are you still here? Seriously, don't watch this. We can't warn you strongly enough. Do you need a doctor of some kind? What is the matter with you?
The difference is clear. It's a revolt the masses will hear. If they vote, let the people cheer. It's beautiful. The blood, God's here.
Hello, everyone. It is Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You know what that means. Time for INDIE VOLT LIVEWIRE. I am your host, with the most. I guess I'm your most host. Oh well. Varian Grant, founder of INDIE VOLT Media LLC. I've been making 2008. I've hated every year of it. This career path sucks. Why didn't someone tell me to be a mechanic or a drug dealer or something? You know, it would have been a lot better, a lot more lucrative than this. But yeah, I have been making comics. I'm a father, a husband, a geek, a gamer, a reluctant taxpayer, and a perpetually pissed off people. And this, of course, is Indie VOLT LiveWire. I am joined, as always, by the beautiful indie princess, Lola. Hello.
Hello, guys. I am Lola, the indie princess. I am the creator and writer of lore and EIC over at indievolt.com, and I am a stressed out person today.
Stressed out. Sure.
Someone needs a swig.
Yeah, she does.
I got some.
That's.
I'm trying to. No, the problem is I'm trying to find a font, and I can't find it anymore. So I'm going through like 1,000 fonts on my computer.
Mm-hmm.
That's fun. Fun times.
Yep. Who's great fonts? Comic Craft.
They don't sponsor us.
I've done a number of those quests in the past. Yes.
There are font finders online, but we were unable to find any for because you can take an image of the font, put it in Font Finder, and it's supposed to crawl through all the fonts and find it.
Amazing.
But, it is unable to. So yeah.
That would have saved me a lot of time.
Yeah.
If I knew it had existed.
That's right. Hey, Volt. Yeah, Volters forget the discount code VOLT10 ship with only Jim and I made. That's right. Use that code. Yep. What's up, peeps? Says Beyond Time. What's up? Pops in the house. Pops fans, eh? Says still cannot get Variant to put the links in the description to make it easy on us non-tech guys trying to share. I apologize. I have put them in there in the past. I've just been getting very lazy lately. Mr. Zim, introduce yourself, please.
Oh, hey, everybody. I'm Randy Zimmerman. I'm a longtime alternative and independent comics producer, creator, freelancer, done everything that you can imagine in this direct market, ran conventions, retailed for a good decade, met my wife while I was retailing. And there's pretty much nothing in this business I haven't seen or done. So everything from Arrow Comics back in the late 80s, all the way through Caliber, Little Antarctic. The list goes on and on. But right now I am trying to bring back Arrow Comics again to the direct market. We've got 4 products a month scheduled to start up in August. Looking forward to presenting those to the direct market, available through Liberty Distribution. So make sure you go over to our Facebook page or check us out on the social platforms. We are all over the place. We have a link tree if you need the exact directory for Arrow Comics 4.0. Look us up. There's some great stuff coming. So deeply appreciate being here and being part of the radio network. So since Varian's out, Dreaded Dinosaur, why don't you introduce yourself?
Yeah, looks like it's my turn. My name is Eric Kotz, and I am Dreaded Dinosaur, the Dreaded Dinosaur Man, creator of Dreaded Dinosaur Man, which is on Webtoon right now and Tapas. I got a book planned, but I've got to put that on the shelf now because I'm a very, very busy man. Also, the artist on the Roddy Piper Kilted Avenger title, which you can get at ProWrestlingTees.com, and just starting my adventures working for Genuine Comics on the American Bliss book. Other announcements, the British Bulldog book is in the works. We got the script almost fully approved and working forward on that. So happy to be here, and this is what I would consider my break from all-day working.
Ah, cool. And giving us a rare appearance on our Tuesday night broadcast is Mr. J.D. Calderon.
How you doing, everybody? My name is J.D. Calderon. I'm the writer and creator of the Oswald Chronicles and Tall Tales Online, so if you want to go check those out. You can also find me on Indie Comics Explained on YouTube.
He is so rare, you should screen grab him and sell him as an NFT.
Exactly, yes. That's how rare I am. On Tuesdays, anyway. I got to start coming back regularly on Tuesdays. So sorry, guys. It's just been busy. Work.
That's all right.
Sucks.
We've all been busy and working.
Yep.
So it's all good. We're waiting for Varian to get back in his chair.
He's the only one with the questions.
Oh, yeah. No.
He's the only one with the questions. No shoe cam tonight.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
No.
Shoe cam.
Just decided to get serious or decided not to wear shoes? Uh-oh.
I'm not wearing any shoes. I'm barefoot. I've been sitting at my computer trying to find a font for like the last 3 hours.
Uh-huh. You're like this guy, right? You're like this guy?
I'm not wearing any pants. Film at 11.
I'm wearing pants.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I got up to put my face on and change my shirt, but that's about it.
You know, if you went on just with bare feet, you might make more money. There is a crowd.
Yeah.
I trust me, I know.
I know you know.
Keep a little box of chicken nuggets by your feet and smash them with your toes.
There you go.
There's a crowd for that too.
I know you told me about that.
Or a cake. Run your feet through a cake.
Uh-huh. Oh boy.
Suddenly we go up by 10,000 viewers and Varian has to pay more for streaming.
Uh-huh.
He said he was going for a drink. He didn't say he was going out for cigarettes and not coming back.
Pop's got a question. Randy,
Eric linked for Arrow 4.0. We have a link tree for Arrow 4.0. We're on Insta. We're on the Twitter and Facebags. Facebag is the best place to go, at least for now, until they send me another warning to be on probation for spamming too much. So.
Oh God.
I am going to paste my link for Dread Dinosaur Man here in 2 seconds.
Facebook's the best link right now. There'll be a lot more art coming up shortly. We're just getting coordinated. So,
boom, there it is.
Putting a promotional package together as we speak.
There's some exciting things brewing. You guys are going to love Arrow Comics 4.0.
Yes.
Lots of stuff coming.
Yeah, that was part of my introduction I left out this time. I'm the colorist for Arrow Comics. That's a fun gig. Looking forward to diving into all that.
Got to get a bunch more stuff in color too. So need that for the Revolt book. I want to do a good mixture of black and white and color stories.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a really nice presentation. I like the idea that was floated around on Facebook for rebooting that. What was that? System 7?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully we can make that work. I think that'd be cool.
I don't know. I got to ask around, see if his daughter's got any preference for the property or what. But as an Arrow comic, she'll probably just let us do it.
Edwin, the Ace, is live on Indiegogo. Hail, peeps.
Hail,
Edwin.
peeps.
Thank you for always being in the chat with us. We appreciate you very much.
Pops is in there loading up with links. Lola's in there loading it up with links.
Nice. So with that System 7 thing, Randy, what are you looking to do with that? I mean, are you looking to do like just an ongoing, like, you know, maybe a short limited series, or are you looking to do like shorts?
It's more like nostalgia than anything. It's a superhero team.
Oh, no, I remember. I got the issues.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if we'd continue it or what, but Ralph always wanted to do a superhero team and had the chance to do it. Found Mark Winfrey, so they sat down and did it. So
gotcha. All right.
And I'm pretty sure Ralph is the sole owner on that property. So
gotcha. Yeah. Well, if you ever get the opportunity and the chance, I think it'd be, I'll throw this out there, it'd be cool to do like maybe shorts, you know, 8-page, 10-page shorts.
Yeah.
You know, because then you know I would definitely chip in for that one.
Yeah. He can write it. I'll draw it.
There you go. You can do that.
There you go.
Yeah. Definitely.
That'd be sweet.
Yeah.
That'd
be awesome.
Got a couple of superhero ideas I've been sitting on that I want to get out there eventually. Unforgiven and a few other properties. Got a property I've been sitting on since the 80s. I sent it to Kamiko when they were first up and got a handwritten letter back by their art director telling me if I switched the story around that they would print it in Kamiko Presents. And at the time I was too bullheaded because of course, you know, you when you're young, you think you know everything and you really don't. And you're like, who is that guy to tell me how to restructure my story? I want to tell it in chronological order, and he doesn't want to take it that way. I'm not doing it. The guy who told me to swap it around and that they put it in Kamiko Presents was Matt Wagner.
Nice. So,
yeah. Just shows you really don't know everything, especially when you first start out and you have no idea. But hey, I could have been Kamiko, you know.
Sorry, it took me a while to get back. I was noticing to my horror that someone put my drink in the freezer. and the not all like if it was an alcohol doesn't freeze. Well, certain alcohol will freeze, especially if it's mainly
only the weak tit stuff.
Yeah, especially if it's like more fruit juice than anything.
Yeah,
but that's okay because it's my fault. It's my fault. I should have.
So you're saying your Hennessy is a margarita now?
No. I do have Hennessy, but I didn't drink that. I didn't. Hennessy is if I want to go to sleep. I don't want to remember anything I did the night before. I have to be cognizant somewhat tonight. So
I thought that's what absinthe was for.
Yeah.
Absinthe if you want to sleep and wake up next week.
Yeah. It's
Well, I'm enjoying this Traverse City Tennessee whiskey. It's cherry flavored bourbon.
Is it Tennessee whiskey?
It's Traverse City.
It's Traverse City whiskey.
It's Traverse City whiskey with hints of cherry flavor in it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and that's pretty weird. It says video material. No. I was scavenging for alcohol, but I found some. I don't have my medications in the at the pharmacy, and I didn't go get it today. So I'm like, I can't get medication. I'll self-medicate. So about comics, guys.
Yes. What is our first question for the night?
Our first question, we're going to present the question a little bit differently because I was having some issues uploading the questions to where I usually upload them to. So I'm going to put them here on screen, and hopefully this will work. It's going to be full screen, though. And this is right up Dreaded Dinosaur's alley.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
You're not going to be able to catch our reaction.
Yeah, well, I'll
Digital art comics will replace the current standard, especially with the rise of NFT. More.
Is his name more? Is there part of the question left out?
No, that's it.
Or with the apostrophe, is that more?
It might be more.
More.
Well, you said you got that funny.
Thanks for writing in, buddy.
Tone.
Oh, you know what? The current standard just doesn't even know what the hell it's going to be when it grows up now. So maybe this is just the summation of that standard evolving. The thing about an NFT is it's a way of minting something digitally so that you actually can say this is a first printing, this is a first second. It's a way of doing that. It's a way of having some sort of monetary value to digital goods. We're living in a time where creators are putting all of their comics, well, not all of them, but some people only put comics out digitally. It only makes sense to collect those as an NFT because then you have a collectible, especially if you have a good audience.
Mr. Darden, I'm sorry, Mr. Darden wants to know if he can come in. Are we good?
Sure, it's fine. I think that with the rise of NFT, we've had more popular.
There you go, Mark.
People are more like the Charlie Bit My Finger video just sold for is it $175,000 or something like that. So they're gonna pull it off of YouTube, and the Charlie Bit My Finger video is now being sold. So someone will have the original NFT to the Charlie Bit My Finger video. It's monetization of just anything. One time I don't mind tokenization.
Now listen, I gotta make this clear though. If you sell this program as an NFT, don't forget my cut. That's all I'm saying.
I should be selling Indie Vault. We can
individual episodes,
Yeah,
that's one of the nice things about it because once the NFT enters the secondary market, the original publisher of that NFT will always collect a royalty as long as they set it up properly. So if you create something that's like balls to the wall, awesome, and people want to sell it on the aftermarket, it could get sold 2 or 3 times. Keep raising in price. You're still going to be collecting money on every single sale.
Nice.
So it helps digital artists. It does help. I don't know if it's going to replace the standard. I don't know if it's. Again, people are so used to reading books. I have. There's a house full of ebook readers here, and I still buy books.
Well, sure.
I still buy books.
But minting an NFT is like sending your book off to CGC or CBCS. Yeah. That's all it is. That's all it is.
A lot quicker.
Right.
Probably a little more expensive too, actually.
Yeah.
Yes. But see, NFT is in its infancy right now because there's new blockchain networks like Cardano, which will be adding smart contracts at the end of July, which is what you need to produce an NFT. Elon Musk is working with the Dogecoin developers to bring smart contracts to that, so you could have an NFT minted on Dogecoin for your first appearance of your digital comic guy. I mean, and those networks are dirt cheap compared to Ethereum, which is kind of like the Windows 95 of crypto, and that's why it's so expensive.
Yeah.
Okay.
Burning through graphics cards.
Yeah, that's it. You know, we had this huge dip, which everybody who was an idiot likes panic selling all the time. I'm just like, hey, I'm buying that dip, but I lost my train of thought because I've had too much whiskey.
He was thinking he was buying a dip.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, yeah, I saw. So yeah, I was buying the dip, but we're still in the infancy of this. That's the main point. This is all still a new territory, the Wild West. This is going to be common in 10 years, and everybody who's a naysayer or a panic seller is going to be kicking themselves in the butt that they didn't like learn this stuff now.
Mhm.
And I'm dead serious.
From Indie Volt Radio, and the question of the topic started.
Before you do that, we should say that we are joined by Mr. Mark Darden. Mark, how are you?
Hey, everybody.
Introduce yourself real quick here.
Mark Darden, the creative Guano guy, and also one of the makers who brought Image Grand Disaster to life, which is
Nice.
currently available.
The
Big book.
we'll take a look at that a little bit later today. We've had on before, so we'll take a look at it, and it's available digital only.
Yeah.
I know he held up a physical copy, but digital only. So don't try to go out there and
So
get
you know it's good.
Yeah. So the question that got everything started tonight was that there are some poisonous. The phrase is "fruit of the poisonous tree," and if you consume it, well, you're dead. And it was brought. It was aimed at comics though, and it was how is it that we have creators in comics that are actually putting out bad information, bad ideas? These people who say, I have the secret sauce. I'm a comic book guru. I can tell you how to master and kick ass on your campaigns. I can tell you how to I can tell you how to get into publishing. I can do all this stuff. I can get you a deal. And they can't. And they actually, the ideas they push are really destructive. From raise your prices to ridiculous levels, even though you don't have the talent to back it. Because listen, what you have to understand is that when we pay for, if you go out and you buy a cover from Dreaded Dinosaur, you are, you know what you're going to get from Eric. So, you know that, and Eric's affordable. I'm seeing people out here charging more than Eric who are like not talented at all. They have no idea of anatomy. They have no idea, have you looked at a human before? Trying to pull off angles and shit that is way, way outside of their range now.
Let's see some examples, please.
I know. I don't have any examples. I mean, if you can look them up and find them. I seen the guy trying to pull a what is it? The worm's eye perspective, and it looked
worm's eye view. Yeah,
which is hard. It is hard to do. I did it once and never again. Okay, and never. And I still look at it and say I could did that better. I could did that better. So, but I seen someone do it and it looked like hot trash. Now, but this person said, I want, $350 a page. $350 a page.
They have a right to say that whatever they want, right?
Sure.
I want $100 million. I told that to my boss. Mm-hmm. He kind of chuckled and then told me to get back to work. There it is, right? We could all just kind of chuckle, pat him on the head, say, listen, just go do you, right? That's it.
Shit.
There's a saying: "A fool and his money are soon departed."
What?
And congratulations to the awful artist who can con somebody into paying them $3.50 a page for their chicken scratches. But in the free market economy, that's okay. That's okay.
Now, here's the thing. As far as the gurus, I don't claim to be one. In fact, I'm horrible.
That's the only reason we're here.
Yeah, I'm horrible.
'Cause you're horrible.
I'm horrible. Yeah, I'm horrible. You don't want to listen to me. Because I think that there's a part where I have to turn it in on myself and look inward and say, I have some pretty effed up views too. But I can admit it. I know that I may have some I may be a little rough around the edges. But JD, when you see people, you've been doing comics for a while, and you're really humble because you have credits. No, you have credits to your name that you don't bring up, that I would bring up every time I spoke.
Okay.
They would be on my. They were, I wrote this, I wrote that. You've got mainstream credits, and you don't bring them up. I had to. You said it like it was very flippant. Like, oh yeah, when I did this, you did what? And it was, you wrote some The Blue Girl.
Yeah. Definitely wrote the
what else was it? It was
Tenchi.
Yeah. And it was like you wrote these things and so you just casually said it. And I'm like, what? Wait, who? You did what? And there's chances I have those books. That I made. I've read those books and I was but a wee babe. But but the thing is, but you have these credits and you don't go out there and tell people I have the key to comicdom. Follow me. Why not?
Because the thing is, nobody has a key to comicdom. That's a fact. There are dudes who've been in this industry longer than myself, right? Who don't have it. You understand? I mean, all I can do is go from my experience, right? It was like, self-publisher. I know a few people who know a few people who know a few people, whatever. Those are only instances when you know those people, if you're willing to take advantage of those connections, right? But you have to be willing to take advantage of those connections. And sometimes you got to lean hard on those connections. And when you do that, sometimes you're going to break those friendships, right? Or those connections. So me personally, I just never chose to do that stuff. But as far as having, I know what to do. No. Well, the only thing I can tell you, here's what you need to do. If you really want to do the work, do the work. If you want to be in comics, write those scripts, hire yourself an artist, get yourself a proofreader, an editor if it's necessary. But I mean, try to work with your friends, a story group or whatever, so that they can lead you down the right direction. But just do the work. That's really all it requires. Just do the work. Because the longer you do it, the more you're going to learn. The more you learn, the better you're going to get at it.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Man, I was talking to my son today about practice, and he's like, if you want to get better, you got to do it all the time. And sometimes that practice can be fun. There's a video game that I can't be beat at. I just can't. I've tried. I've sought out people on the internet to beat me. I need to be humbled, but they can't because I'm the best at it. And it is because I play too damn much, and I shouldn't play that much. But so I just got really good at it. If you want to get good at something, do it every day. Whether that's drawing, writing, just keep doing it. Eventually, you will get better. Even despite me telling you so, you will get better. I guess. Okay.
All right. I'm sorry, but think of it like this: Mike Tyson in his early career, right, was an absolute murderer. He would walk out there, just knock people out. It was incredible. And if you were to watch his footwork, his head movement, all these things, that didn't happen. None of that was an accident. None of it. He trained. He got up every day at 5 a.m. He ran. He did everything he had to do. He has, video interviews where he says, "Look, if you had to do what I had to do, you'd cry. You would cry. You would not be able to do what I do. I work out 8 hours a day, every day, physically, very hard." You understand? When did he lose? When he stopped training. That's when he went downhill. I know this because just before the Buster Douglas fight, 2 days before, I saw him on a corner in Lexington, in 59th in Lexington. He was hanging outside of a club. So I was like, well, if he's hanging outside of the club, he's not working out. He's not getting up in the morning. He's not doing that road work. And look at what happened to him.
Yeah.
So there it is. But, that's not to diminish anything he's done. Mike Tyson's fantastic. I love the guy.
That wish you would have told somebody that because they could have.
I was
the bookies
too young,
been...
too young, too dumb, bro. Too young, too dumb. I wish I was. Those connections didn't hit in my head at that age,
Yeah, wait a minute. If he's out here,
right? 36 to 1. 36 to 1.
Wow.
I'd have bet it all.
That'd have been some good odds. Yeah.
Yep, I'd have bet it all.
Guys, what's the biggest piece of BS you ever heard from someone someone told you about comics? Someone who said they were in the know.
Gosh, BS. I think I just dismiss most people who think they know what they're talking about off the top. That I can't recall.
For me, it was an artist telling me that they had made oh gosh, I think it was like close to $9,000 on one sketch. And this was and by the way, this is like it was a 10-minute convention sketch, $9,000. And
was this person Jason Scott Campbell?
No, it's Jeffrey Scott Campbell. Boy, you people, this poor man, he needs to put his name out there. No, it wasn't Jay Scott. It wasn't Jay Scott. And that's the thing. It wasn't anybody that, is well known. And I know for a lot of people, it's like, wait a minute, how'd you do that? I mean, $9,000, 10-minute sketch, a 10-minute convention Sharpie sketch at a convention. By the way, who carries $9,000? Oh, I guess there are people that carry $9,000 in a pocket at a convention. There is that. I mean,
yes, there are.
Yep. I don't see anybody. I mean, like, we can have wishes, but I don't think that happens. I don't think that happened to this individual. I could see someone doing it. I could see it happen to Jim Lee. I could see that. I was in a room with Jim Lee, and they had it was a signing, and you have to go upstairs. You stand in line. You go in the signing room.
E-ticket ride.
You're waiting up there. You're waiting for your chance to go up there and kiss the ring. And they have Jim's original art out on tables, and you get to walk past it, and say the rosary as you're walking past, because that's how it really felt like a religious, like they had it set up like, am I meeting the Pope? What's going on here? But I'm looking at the art, and the art's for sale, and none of it is priced, none of it, because if you have to ask how much it costs,
you can't afford it.
And but someone will say, I'm interested in this piece, and the guy will look over at Jim and say, Jim, page 5 or whatever book, and Jim would toss back a hand signal, and I'd see like, is that 300? I mean, I'm thinking like 300. I can afford some Jim Lee artwork. Oh no, it's not 300. It's yeah, $3,000. And people were forking over cash. And one guy looked at his wife and she said, go ahead, if this is gonna make you happy. And I'm like, are you serious, sir? It's a talking head page. Yeah. It wasn't even an action page. It was a page with characters. Are you serious? And I love Jim. I when I took a picture with him, I took 3 pictures with him, and that's because Melissa was very slick with it. You're supposed to get 1 picture, but she touched that button, and she just her finger was moving. I got like 9 pictures with Jim Lee. He don't know it, but I got my pictures. But again, I was told that bad advice, and I think I think the other piece of bad advice I may have gotten was to be I say to look down on others, but like to gatekeep. I got told to gatekeep at one point, keep people away from getting in the industry, and I think that was bad advice I was given. I know it was bad advice I was given. The gatekeeping is not what you should be doing in this industry at all. We should be open to new ideas, new voices. Now we don't have to agree with those voices, but we should be open to having them in here and pushing, like their ideas. Because I mean, that's how we evolve as an art form. New ideas, new people come in, even if they don't last. Maybe they contribute something that. Oh, how do we do that? How do we ever do this before? This person did something that was remarkable. I mean, nobody was thinking about crowdfunding a couple years ago. So yeah. Anybody else want to weigh in on that?
I mean, if I could touch on something you just said about about gatekeeping, right?
Mm-hmm.
So for a long time, I was a very rah-rah type of creator. I was like, you're doing an independent comic, man. Come on in, do it. Feel free, blah, blah, blah. And then for a very short period, I became the, you know what? Nah, there's too many people. Get out. Don't even bother. Go die. Go do something else. But I've transformed into, you know what you really need to do? Work on your craft. Work on your stories. Work on your ability to tell stories. And then please come in and entertain us. That's where I'm at now. I'm like, I want you to come in, but I want you to become educated. I want you to learn. I want you to be the best artist, the best writer you can be. You understand? And understand that it may take a while. You understand? It's not going to happen overnight. You understand? I mean, I started off with a group. We were 18, 19 years old, sometimes younger. I had 16-year-olds in my group, right? And we were all coming up together. Nobody told us that you don't really get good until you're in your 30s. That's the thing. You could be in your mid-20s. You think you're the hottest shit on the planet, bro. You're not nothing. You understand? It's not until you hit your mid-30s, sometimes into your 40s.
No one knows who you are.
Exactly. Well, it's not even that.
Yeah.
There are a lot of dudes out there that nobody knows who they are, who are really talented.
Yeah.
Right? But you don't really get talented or really good because you have to work at it. This isn't something like I'll throw out an artist, Lee Weeks. Lee Weeks' art in the 90s, I hated it. Hated it. I heard his name and his name, I believe it's spelled W-E-E-K.
Mm-hmm.
I changed the E to an A. Weak. That's how I looked at it, right? It was just weak. But you look at his stuff today, this man, you could tell his practice every day. He's been grinding every day. That dude is incredible. Mm-hmm. His stuff today is like, whoa, masterclass level. Mm-hmm. You understand? That's just from putting in the work.
Yeah. And, but sometimes I feel that, we put out a comic or two, and we think, okay, I've done 3 comics. I'm the shit. And I can't be stopped. By the way, speaking of shit, Raging says some poison is just enough to make you feel real sick or give you the shits. Yeah, she's right. She says, then Eric says, she's a comicstopia. Hey, we could live in a comicstopia. We could. Mm-hmm. Where it would be great and everything would be swimming until, freaking Randy comes along.
That's right.
Ruins it all.
Randy, go get him.
Yeah.
Man.
I would like to see. I guess. Yeah. I mean, if you can focus every day and just draw. Someone said draw something at least 1 page a day. At least mm-hmm. Just draw something every day, mm-hmm. And eventually you'll get better. And you can do it. You can do it. You can draw something. It's possible. Draw something every day. I was yelled at recently, guys. I was yelled at because I had a commission that was due, and I forgot all about it. And one commission I have to get scanned still. My scanner's on the fritz, and then another one is I guess it's been lost in my email, so I got to get that out. But I had another commission I had to do, and it was and I did it, but not until the last day it was due, with like hours, maybe 4 hours to go, and I'm like, oh shit, I've got to get this done. And I jump up, I grab my blue pencil, and I go in there and I draw this character in about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, penciled and inked. And my wife comes in, she looks, and she says, "When did you draw that?" I said, "Oh, this morning. I got up at 6. I started drawing it at 7." And she said, "You asshole, because you could do this all the time, but you don't. You had to have your back to the wall for you to get up and knock this piece out.
Yeah.
Shame on you. So yeah, that's bad habits. But anyway,
she has a good point.
Yeah. Especially the asshole part.
Yeah. Well, we all got one.
So when you see individuals now, charging for master classes, you guys won't take one. No one on this panel will take one, I'm guessing. Mark,
Now,
would you be interested in taking a comic book master class on crowdfunding or how to grow your brand or anything? Would you be interested in anything like that?
No.
No.
Writing, maybe, something about the actual art form or technique, but no, not on the sales.
How about you, Randy?
There was a website that was doing a series of master classes. I almost took a couple of them. So Neil Gaiman and people, you have to know and you have to respect that teacher before you can fork over that money. You need to do your research and make sure, like what you were saying earlier, this isn't somebody that just did 3 books and thinks that they know everything.
Oh, yeah,
they're called master classes for a reason, but there's no master class I can think of out there that's worth 500 freaking bucks. None. I mean, you can go to college and take a class there if you want. Do that with somebody that teaches a regular curriculum that'll get you from point A to point B and not waste your time doing hour-long lectures on who knows what.
I'm taking part in a comic book legal comic book panel this weekend at it's at 1 Our Time, hosted by the Comic Book Legal Defense Fund.
Cool.
And it's about the legalities of comic book creation, IPs, protection, and all that good stuff. Now, when I say I'm taking part in it, I mean I'm going to be there. I'm going to be there listening in. I'm not going to be on the panel. No one wants to hear me talk about the legalities because my legality is carry a gun and shoot the motherfucker. He besmirched you, pop him.
There's so much stuff available on YouTube from so many sources, some credible, some totally, with their head up their ass. You really have to go out there and listen to a wide amount of them and decide who's actually serious and helpful and who's actually full of shit.
Yeah, you got to do your due diligence.
You really have to be careful. Yeah.
Jennifer says she'll pay for 12 on Comic Crate. I'm taking one of Skillshare. Jennifer, don't say that because they will start targeting you. They will say, she'll pay.
She'll pay.
The information is free. Any of these people on this panel, contact them. They will walk you through the process. They will give you information. They're always willing to say, contact this printer. Here's artists you can deal with.
And you really have to be careful too, because there's so many people out there that are snake oil, selling snake oil. You really have to be careful.
If I was paying that kind of money for some sort of master class, I would want to do like a 2-day apprenticeship with Dave Dorman or something like that. That's the bar that I would set for that kind of thing. You and I were looking at the Joe Kubert classes to take some of those online courses.
Well, again, Kubert is completely different because they've got a set curriculum and they've been doing that and hitting that curriculum for years.
Yeah.
So they've got it down. Here, boom, boom, boom. Here are your classes. I saw the books that Varian ordered. They do like a correspondence school course where they give you courses to draw or a book to draw in. Then you ship the book in and then they grade you on that book. That's an awesome idea. And at the time that Varian got those books, they were offering a great discount on that class type structure. This is right in the middle of the bug, wasn't it?
We're about 3
months in, because I bought the same deal. Still in the box.
But what a great. Well, some of us aren't going to get to it, but what a great idea to do. Now's the time. If you're going to be stuck in your house, now's the time to actually learn something, as opposed to just sitting there and not doing anything at all. But there are so many other people out there going, I did 3 Kickstarters, and now I know exactly what you need to do in order to make money on this platform. Okay. No, you don't.
Not to mention that you should also mention that Kickstarter was like, I made $100. Yay.
Yeah.
And say, you didn't make any money, but it's not, and it's not the discouraging those people. That's fine. I'm glad that you made some. I'm glad that it worked for you, but to say that it's a masterclass is wrong. Now, Indie Vote Radio, and this is a question from.
Because really, if you want a master class, if you want to do a master class in sequential art, go out there and buy Eisner's textbooks and sit and read them a few times.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Comics and sequential art and the art of graphic storytelling. There's your master class right there.
Ashley,
Understanding Comics by Scott McCloud.
That'll get you started into the art form to understand the wide scope of it and the appeal of it. But the Eisner books are really written like textbooks, and sometimes you have to read them 2 or 3 times in order to really grasp exactly what he's talking about. But they're in my mind, they're essential for anybody that wants to learn how to tell sequential art.
Jason Moore says, a class lecture by Brian Pulido on his methods and process from idea to scheduling to fulfillment of his Kickstarter campaign will be interesting. It would be.
Jason, he's done that. They're out there. He did a panel on what he had done for Coffin Comics
for free.
I was going to say, you know how much he charged for it? Nothing. He put it out there because he knows he's making money. And he wants everybody else to make money too, so he can make more money. Because the bigger the audience, the more potential you have of making money. It's a really good panel. It's on, I believe it's Coffin Comics on their site, and he calls it a panel, and he'll sit there and tell you what he did. It's really fascinating to watch.
Ashley from Indie Vote Radio wants to. I'm sorry, she or he. I'm not sure if I know Ashley could be a unisex name. Says I have signed on with a publisher about a year ago who now only wants to do anthology or collected books. We were not sold on this idea. We just developed it over time. I signed a contract to put out my book as individual 40 to 50 page books, but now he wants to break them up and put them into collected anthologies. This, of course, changes the pay rate and throws a lot of things into a skew. Please don't put my last name in this letter, as I don't want to get in trouble for speaking out. But I do think it's unfortunate that we have to deal with this as creators. Ashley, yeah, that sucks. See if you can get out your contract. If you're unhappy, see if you can get out.
You probably need to consult a lawyer, because if in your contract it says 40 to 50 page books, then and he doesn't want to, or they don't want to hold up to that agreement, they're in breach, not you. So you need to say, hey, if you're not going to stay with that contract, if you're going to go off here in left field, you're playing with my money. I need to go out and make money for me and do the format that I want to do. If you're in the independent market, you really don't need to put up with that kind of thing.
Nothing wrong with anthology,
but no, nothing at all. In fact, I'm printing one as Arrow Comics. We just got done crowdfunding a great big thick anthology book that I still don't know the full page count of, but I will soon. But no publisher out there worth their salt is going to pigeonhole themselves into one or two genres. No alternative guy. Now, you might have people out there that are looking for Netflix deals and they want esoteric titles with stale characters that move just from point A to point B just so that they can sell a 2-hour movie. But the majority of your publishing companies out there are looking for books that they can actually make money on. And you're not going to necessarily do that by sticking anthologies out there all the time unless you have key people, key stories, great stuff in those books. Other than that, your first couple of anthologies that you do is going to set your level in everyone's mind, and they're going to decide within your first couple of issues if they're going to stick with you or not. And it's very difficult because I've tried anthologies when doing Arrow Comics in the past. Anthologies are the most difficult thing to sell.
Oh, Jimmy.
Right behind convincing somebody that you actually have a quality horror title.
Well, I think
that's not an IP.
I think that we have like nothing wrong with anthologies, and like you said, Randy, I would worry about someone that's all they want to do, because listen, an anthology is a collection of titles. For those who don't know what an anthology is, maybe listen.
It's a collection of short stories.
Short stories.
Or
usually
it should
just,
be, at least.
or just you, yeah. Sometimes it can be an issue's worth of story, but it's an anthology. I would say to be wary of doing that, because what happens is it ends up there's a wrestler who claims that he sold out Madison Square Garden. This wrestler did not sell out Madison Square Garden, I assure you. Ultimate Warrior and Hulk Hogan sold out Madison Square Garden. That's what everyone came to see. No one came to see this guy, this curtain jerker. No one. But he claims, I sold out Madison Square Garden. You on the card. And don't get me wrong, that gets you that does get you in the club. Hey, I was a part of an event that sold out Madison Square Garden, and that's great. But it's not really truthful. So you could have a situation where someone could say, "Oh, I was in a comic book that moved. The comic moved over 50,000 copies because of my title."
Yeah,
and you're like, "F you," because of your title. Your shit sucks. It's black and white. Your anatomy is crap. Your story is ass. I know, ill. And you can, so you have those things. And then too, you have some publishers out there who are janky publishers who will.
That's an actual publishing brand.
It should be, janky.
Yeah. Janky publishing.
yeah. Who all they want to put out is anthologies because they can't create shit. Oh, I know how get an anthology started.
Yeah.
And I know what I'll do. I'll assemble a team of artists, and I'll hire you to do some art. Because don't worry, I'm not gonna pay you, but you're in this anthology, so it's good. You're gonna make money. You're gonna make money. It's fast talking, pie in the sky. Everything's gonna be great. They'll give you a 20-minute blue sky on how great things are gonna be, only for you to find out that it's not. So be careful of that type of stuff. You can probably get out of that contract, Ashley. You can, not without some effort, but you can get out of that contract.
Probably, yeah. And you probably should if you don't want your work chopped up into short stories, and you signed with the promise that that the publisher's going to do full issues, and now he's not. Like I said before, he's the one in breach, not you. You need to ask him politely to just consider the contract null and void and move on.
What you saying, Eric?
I was going to say there's a guy out now who bills himself as this really great comic writer. He can teach you how to write comics, but if you look at his stuff, he's never done anything more than a few 8 or 10 page short stories.
Yeah.
Cannot do the whole huge wheelhouse. So in the immortal words of Ronald Reagan, trust but verify. We live in a day and age where you can Google the name of anybody who's teaching a master class or who's publishing you, who's sending you an email, hey, I want to publish you in my anthology. You can Google their name, find out if they're full of it or not pretty easily.
And anthologies are a great place to learn. They're a great place to experiment. And that's part of the reason why I like them, the majority of them myself. That's why I want to do Revolt. I want Revolt to be looked at as Arrow Comics version of a comic book version of Heavy Metal magazine. That there's all of these different types of stories, all of these different genres. You don't know what story you're going to get when you turn from one page to the next, and to try to keep that pot with as wide a variety as possible, unless we do a theme issue, which we're planning on doing in October. But it's important to have them out there, because especially if you're just coming in, and I think JD will attest to this, there's nothing like sitting down and doing a series of short stories before you start taking a larger bite.
Yep.
To do a good half dozen to a dozen self-contained tight stories with great beginning, middle, and ending. Know what an O. Henry ending is like. Know what the EC horror stuff used to read like. Know what the old Crime Does Not Pay reads like. There's some phenomenal short story anthology comics that have come out over the years. It's just you really have to be careful, especially nowadays, especially with crowdfunding, where you can get these thick books out there and have it all just be terrible stuff. you know,
Yeah.
and not be aware of it, especially somebody who's staking their company reputation on the quality of that book.
Mhm.
I would I think that we have it's also up to us to educate people on that type of stuff, because we've all been here for quite a while, so we need to push that type of education. Hey, stop, jumping, especially because you see a lot of people, it's their first book. I
Yes.
think actually putting your first book, and this is just me, my opinion, it can be toxic. I think putting your first book in an anthology, your first book with no other type of work could be a problem long run.
Well, it's easy to get buried.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And forgotten. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Put it out. Go ahead. Put it out. Find a publisher that's willing to put it out for you, as a single issue. So at least you have that, and you're not fighting for space amongst other stories, because, you put me in a book with, listen, this is why I'm not in Revolt. You're not gonna put me in a part of top talent. I don't want to see my. I'm just kidding. But no, it's seriously. It's like going on sometimes after. Who they say you don't want to go on after Hendrix. You don't want to go on. I don't want to go on after some of these people. Put myself up front, first page. Let them read it. There, I'm good. I got read. That's all I care about. I do take credit though for the bump that Randy received for Flint Comics 150 star printing in there.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. That was all me. Indie Vote Radio. By the way, thank you.
Only because people kept calling me up the next issue, going, "Where's that Tipsy strip? Aren't you going to carry any more of those?" Well, Varian didn't make his deadline this month, so maybe next month.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
I tell the story about I thought I was being cool. I said I'm going to do 2 strips this month, and this is what I'll have a month. And Randy ran both of them. Rather than saying, "Oh, I'll run one this month and one next month," he ran both of them. Imagine my surprise when I opened the issue. I'm like, "Wait a minute! Hey, it's 2 months work." That's all.
They weren't 2 months work. They were only 4 panel strips.
Yeah.
I
was planning on being lazy. Anyway, radio, thank you guys for listening right now. We are at 82,405 listening. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate that.
We love each and every one of you out there. Thanks for listening.
From Indie Vote Radio, this one is from Garrison. Garrison would like to, he wants to know if indie comics can actually provide him a living. He really wants to get in the industry. He's been drawing for years, but I want to know if it's something that I can make a viable living out of. I don't have a problem working my 9 to 5, but I really want to give my all to comics. I'm an artist and looking to get in.
I love your passion. Don't quit your day job and hustle and grind.
Yeah.
If you really want it, you'll do your 9 to 5, and then from 5 to 9, you are working on your comic. Heaven help you if you have kids or a wife. They need to be understanding, because you're going to need to spend a lot of time working on your craft, falling upwards. Learn from your mistakes. You got to give yourself that opportunity, and again, don't quit the 9 to 5, because you've got to support yourself while you're doing this. So you're just going to have to give up TV, give up movies, give up video games. Put this stuff out of your life that's a time stealer. Yes, Varian. If you drew as much as you played video games, you'd be as good as Jim Lee by now.
The thing is, I don't play video games that much anymore. But I know what you mean. I've been getting yelled at. I know this is a bit of a segue, but I've been getting yelled at because I keep buying the games, but I'm not finishing them. The last game I finished was Avengers. I've got this horrible game here. I call it horrible. It's not a horrible game. It's a beautiful game. The game is actually very pretty. This new Resident Evil Village. I got this. It's got a werewolf in it, which is ridiculous. But hunted it down. I've played it for 20 minutes. I got it the day it came out. I played it for 20 minutes. So it's been out for 2 weeks now? I'm not playing it. I don't have the time. I don't have time between this and other things that, some of you guys know what's going on. Between that type of stuff, I just do not have the time. I wish I did. But, you're right. Draw every day, like you said. Draw, grind, You're gonna make mistakes. You know, I have drawn my comic front page to last page 3 times now. The first time, complete disaster. I don't know what I was doing. I was trying to do this Mark Bagley like style, and it was Mark Bagley meets Mike Turner. It looked horrible. Like I did not understand what I was doing, and I was drawing on regular typing paper, by the way, guys. Regular typing paper. My second time I drew it, I was not ready. People will say I was. I wasn't. I was not ready. It sucked. I still have all the pages. I may release them one day so people can see what what could have been. But
I thought you were just gonna give us a laugh. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah. It'll be a good laugh too. It'll be good. You guys will be like, oh my, you were gonna put this out? She said it's not that bad. It's horrible. I'm looking like ill.
That's from your new comic company, Janky Comics.
Janky Press.
Janky Press.
Yeah.
The inking was horrible.
Well, she said the inking was horrible. I didn't do the inking.
Art was good.
The inking is part of the reason why I didn't put the book out. What I did was I had someone had convinced me to, at the time I had an office and I had a lot of artists working there, and someone convinced me to give all the artists the book and let all the artists take pages home over the weekend, ink them, and bring them back completed. So, because the art was all done. So I'm like, okay, so I'm super excited. Between 4 artists and myself, we could get this done in a weekend. Monday morning, I come back. I'm super excited. One of my inkers had told me, "Hey, I got in. I put your sketches on the table in your office, so they're all ready. I dropped them off on Sunday." I'm like, awesome. I get down there Monday. I'm so excited. I go in my office. I sit down. I look at my art. It has been destroyed. I was actually in tears. I remember my mother was my what she did. She was the financial director. So she got the office down the hall for me. And I went in her office. She said, "What's wrong?" She said my eyes are full of water. And I remember it. I remember just, why would someone destroy my artwork like this? So I didn't put the book out at all because I'm like, this is not going to happen. I drew it again. And there's a part of me that doesn't want to let it go. It could be finished, but there's a small part of me that's like, if I say it's done, I have to release it this time, or my wife will kill me. Other 2 times, then I had the benefit of not having a wife. Now having a wife, I know I have to put it out. So
now, is the book a one shot?
No.
So this is a multiple part series. If you've only done a partial on the first issue.
I've done the first issue. I did the first and I've done 2 issues worth, basically 2 issues worth of comic.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's not like, it's. I wish that I would have kind of put it out back when I first started, because who knows, I would have had maybe 70 issues out now of just me getting better progressively. That'd have been kind of cool, but I don't have that.
I mean, you got to think of it like this, right? Look at Arthur Adams. Mm-hmm. Look at Longshot, right? Go look at Longshot. Does that look anything like what he's? Well, I mean, it does kind of look what he. You could tell it's a progression from what he did back then to what he does today, right? You can see his stuff today. You're like, whoa, that dude like exploded, right? Longshot was good, but you can see his progression as he did those X-Men annuals, and then he did that 4 issues on Fantastic Four, and as he continues, So yeah, sometimes it's better just to put your nose at a grindstone and just work it.
Yeah, and I probably will figure out a way to put it in, put that old stuff in so people can see it, and even because that type of stuff inspires another artist. It sparks the artist that might be looking at that and they say, "Wow, I'm at this level now. So if I just keep drawing, eventually I'll get better." Nothing is more for an artist. I don't know if you guys ever feel it, but when you're drawing and you figure something out, or now that click, you're like, "Oh, that's how that works." Now, I don't consider myself a writer. JD, structurally putting together a story, have you ever figured it out? Like, it snaps into place. Like, oh, wait a minute, I couldn't have wrote that when I was, a 19-year-old kid. But now,
Well, there was a time when I wrote a short story, right? Probably about 15,000 words. It was a prose story. I think I started that story in 1997, and I think I completed it in 2006. Okay, so now normally it would only take me about a week, 2 weeks to write that type of story, but it took me that long to figure out the ending. So sometimes it takes time, and you give yourself that room as a creative to come back to this work. It depends where you're at. For me, it's art, right? So I'm going to come back to it. For some reason, people, it's commerce. You don't have time to come back to it. You just got to crank it, So, but would I have come up with a better story if I had to crank it? I was put under that pressure? Maybe. Would it have sucked? Maybe. But, you don't know, because that's the thing. When I worked professionally, you're put under that pressure, that monthly pressure, and you got to crank. Sometimes you get sublime beauty by doing that, because you're working at such a pace that you're just like boom boom. You're not giving yourself a chance to think about it. You're just working. You don't even think about it, right? So you just running on your subconscious. You're just doing what you got to do to get it done. But but sometimes there is a benefit to be able to sit back and be like, okay, let's really break down the structure, and really put the pieces together in a form. It's nice when you can do both, because sometimes you can crank, throw it to the side, and then come back to it later and then just bring it up. But it depends where you're at. If you're doing it commercially, you got to crank, man. You don't got a choice.
Mark, you've been writing for some time now. Do you feel you become a better writer over time, or?
Yeah, absolutely. And I've been writing since I was a kid, but even each just form or genre of writing takes time to develop. Starting with short stories, doing poems and songs and comics, they're all very different, and they take a while to understand how they work, or their rhythm, or that genre. Each one's very different. So I absolutely 100% agree that just over time you're going to get better. One of the things I loved when it really started happening is writing a story, and there'll be some threads that are in there, and then later on, like connections that click, and stories literally write themselves, where they just lead, just logically, like, oh yeah, of course, this is what would happen next.
Yeah. See, I have a story that's based in, it's got biblical elements in it. It's got some fantasy elements, some mythical elements. It's got all this stuff in there. But I found that earlier, I got later I had started. We had the comic book movie boom, went through the Christopher Nolan franchise, and the one that we kept getting hit over the head with was realism and grounding it. And so I started doing that in my own writing, trying to add realism and grounding things, even fantasy. And the idea that I was trying to ground fantasy in reality seems stupid. Now when I say it, it's like that. What was I doing?
Well, it depends on what type of fantasy you're trying to do. Because you got high fantasy, which I kind of like the word high fantasy, because you got to be kind of high to write it, right? Because you're like trying to do outrageous fantasy, flying whales, right? Witches flying around on brooms, people flying around on birds, also that's like really high out there fantasy. You think Alice in Wonderland, talking cats that disappear with mouths chasing you down, but there's that type of fantasy, right? Then you have just like a fantasy like what's that movie? Don't Be Afraid of the Dark, where you have the little girl and she discovers these little gremlins that live underneath her house that are going to try to eat her, right? So you have that type of fantasy, which is a small element, right, of fantasy, and then and it could be even smaller than that. It could just be like this person, maybe finds a keyhole, and in that keyhole they could see another reality, right? And that's all that's magical there, and that's it. But everything else is real, right? So it just depends where you're coming at it from the different stories. So there's all kinds of different fantasy, what is that? Urban fantasy, right? Where the only fantastical element might be in there is your favorite, a werewolf, right? But he's in the middle of Manhattan, or he's in the middle of Detroit running around causing chaos, maybe smoking weed, and eating people.
I told my son we had to talk about creating because he's trying to create his own comic, and we had to talk about that this week, last weekend actually, and I told him that a lot of times, a lot of my stories have elements of me in them. Not all, because there's one that has none of me in it at all. But there is, like The Begotten, the one that I'm working on. It's a story really about missing your father. Okay. Both characters in there are, missed relationship they had with their fathers. So one for the better, one for extremely worse. So that's really what it boiled down to. The other one is it's one I wrote when I was a teenager. So it's teenage angst. XP is about, it's teenage angst. That's what that one is. But I don't, but for that reason, I don't consider myself a writer because I respect, after reading a lot of good work, I respect what writers do now. And I'm not going to sit and pretend that I can do that. So I'll be a comic book creator, but I won't take the title of writer. I just won't. I can't do it.
I've got a question for the writers in the room. When you have a point in your timeline of your story that is just burning your brain that you just can't wait to get to, how do you personally deal with that? Because you've got all this other schleck you've got to get through before you can get to that awesome idea that you can't wait to get to. How do you individually get to that stuff? How do you deal with it?
I write it down.
You want me to go first? What?
I write it down first.
Yeah.
That part that I'm thinking about.
Yep.
And then, so I know how to get there.
Yep.
Yeah, I got notebooks full.
But see, like I think what Eric's saying is like when you're just so excited, you want to do that part now. Like,
just write it down to get it out your system.
Yeah. Okay.
And that way you have it on paper. So then you're working the rest of your story, and then you can actually get to that part. But it's written down already, so you can get it out of your system.
Yep.
And she gets smart.
and what's really cool about doing that is that once you work your way to it, you might be able to tweak that dialogue or change that plot point just enough to make everything fit the wider picture. Because there's really a reason why you're focusing on that particular scene or that particular line of dialogue or whatever. You need to get that down, like Lola said, down and out of your system, and then figure out where that fits in.
Yeah, I know for myself, I'm like, I keep those moments as goalposts, right? Because I have many, like the Oswald Chronicles, I have many goalposts, right? I have a lot of those moments. So for me, it drives me, keeps me writing, so I can get to that moment, and bring that moment to reality on that page, so it's a little different for everybody. But the way what Lola was saying is absolutely valid, because I've done stuff like that too, where it's like, okay, I got to jot this down before, I absolutely forget it. But sometimes, but a lot of it though, I just hold it in my brain until I get to it, and I just burn till I get to that point, So yeah, I've held on to ideas and concepts 15 years before I could get to them. With Tall Tales, that happened.
Ouch.
Yeah, it was crazy where I got to a point where it was like, okay, 15 years later, I'm like, boom, I got to that point where I could finally write this scene that I've been thinking about for 15 damn years.
Like, how does it not drive you mad?
You know what drives me?
Who says it didn't?
Yeah, exactly. Who says it didn't?
Yeah.
Right. What drives me really mad is not that. What drives me mad is a story unfinished. I wrote a when I first started out, I did it was supposed to be a 6-issue limited series called Dream Weavers, right? I'd only written the first 3 issues, and it was killing me. I completed the scripts, never got them completed as a comic book, so I wrote it as a novel. And until I was done with that thing, once I was done, it was like I didn't get a monkey off my back, I got like a gorilla off my back. That's how it felt. Because once, like, it was like expunging a demon. Like, once that was done, I could move on. I could write other things. I could just I didn't have to think about that anymore. It was like, okay, I'm done with that for now. I want to revisit those characters one day, but for now, I'm like, that's done. I can move on. And right now, that's where I'm at with Oswald. So I'm like, I just gotta get it done. I'm talking to you guys and I'm lettering, so that's what I'm doing.
And how about you, Mark? How do you have any of those Guano guys goalposts that you want to get to?
Yeah, it's rough, especially when I think something's really good and just got to wait till the point that it's supposed to come out and not try to rush it. The current issue has one of those that I came up with years and years ago. I still got 1 or 2 issues further to go to finally get to this other thing that I've been wanting to do forever. So yeah, I don't know. It's just rough, but try to have fun with the, with the story as is. Don't rush it. Don't skip the proper steps that need to happen along the way. I don't have a good solution for it other than just have some patience. Wait to get to it.
Also,
I like the way that JD put it as goalposts. That in my mind kind of works for kind of putting the crazy to the side, but definitely getting those ideas written down and getting them out. I've been looking back at some of my previous notes for Dinosaur Man, and I'm like, wait a minute, I've kind of evolved past that now.
Oh yeah,
I've got these new exciting things
sure.
that I want to get to. So it's a never-ending process. You got to do the grind. You got to do the work, and just don't stop. Like you opened up the story, the episode tonight with what's the worst advice you've ever gotten. What's the best advice everyone's ever gotten? For me, it was from Doug Paskowitz, creator of Arsenic Lullabies, who told me flat out, just don't give up, keep doing it, and you'll get there. It sounds simplistic, but it's always stuck in my craw and my brain, and so far it's come. It's true.
Best advice I ever got. Don't put that there. As far as comics is concerned, though,
Not marriage advice.
oh, okay.
No.
As far as comics is concerned, it was actually it was you guys are gonna laugh. It was from Jerry Sheamus. He was at Michael Turner's table, and
Is that why you bought all that stock?
No. How about the stock later? It may have something to do with that, but I got you. If you look at the picture, there's a picture on my Facebook of me and Mike Turner and Jerry Sheamus, because Jerry is hanging out at Mike's table. So it's cool because Jerry Sheamus, and I'm like, this is cool. It's a lot of star power in this picture. Look at me. Black star power, baby, right here. Anyway, but he told me, he said, I gave him his respect too, and he said, look, he told me, he says, this could be, this is nothing, like, this is easy to do. This is just my passion for the industry, and he told me there would be hard days that you don't want to do it, that you don't want to wake up, you don't want to do it, but just push on. That'll clear. You'll get past that. What that is anxiety. What that is just, maybe, yesterday's meeting didn't go the way you hoped it would. Just keep powering through, and you'll see your way out on the other side of it. So just keep at it, because comic books is a tough business. Pop culture is a tough business. You can look around and you'll see people who are, I don't want to sound, because it'll be my next segue, but you'll see people who, just should not be in that position. Like, how? You guys like this shit? And what am I doing? You toss your pencils down, you throw your pad away, like, I remember hearing a guy say, fuck it. And I remember him tossing his notebook. So, there will be days when you have that. Just keep going. Keep going. Your time will come. You will be acknowledged for your efforts at some point. And if not, you had fun. You'll die at your table. Go ahead. What's the best piece of advice you ever got, Mark?
The best one I got was, it's what Alan Moore said of writing a comic script, of writing a love letter to the artist. Because it took a while to switch from being story writer to writing comic. I mean, script and dialogue, dialogue, narration, that stuff works. Well, even narration's kind of different, but like dialogue's the same. But as far as like writing the descriptions and what's going to happen, since it's for one person, it's much more conversational and inspirational, but not written for everybody else. It's not being written to a mass audience or to like draw them into a story. It's written to get one person inspired about depicting that story visually. So that was a really good piece of advice. I didn't get it personally, but I heard it and it made complete sense and helped a lot.
If I remember that quote from Alan Moore. It's like a love letter to your artist. I once wrote a love letter to my artist. Her husband wrote back an angry email. So that wasn't that one fell flat. I wrote you a love letter?
Yeah, it said happy fucking anniversary.
Oh, well, okay.
I still got it.
No, well, good. That sounds like me.
It was like this super old too.
That sounds like me. That's really mean of me. I shouldn't have did that. So, guys, before we get into Mark's book, we talked about the name of this show is Poison is Passion. Passionate poison. Whatever it was. I may have drank a little bit too much at this point. What do you have any? Is there anything, because this industry can destroy marriages, can destroy friendships, destroy livelihoods.
Yep.
And I'm talking about comics, period. I seen someone today, I had to share it with Randy. I seen someone today who is on the retail side and wits in.
The thing that struck me with that video, though, is that there are probably half of the retailers out there that are going through the exact same thing, that are feeling the exact same way. And they have to be at wit's end considering some of the stuff that's been happening over the last year.
Yeah. And so, I mean, so it's our industry, and our industry can be quite poisonous, but do you have any things that were did you consider anything that you're about your passion for this industry, did you consider poisonous? I'll start with Randy because I know he has a good story.
I'm not sure exactly where you're heading at this. Is our passion bad? No, our passion's not poisonous. You might become obsessive. Mm-hmm.
Are you asking about what about our passion is tripping us up, causing us problems? Is that
whether it be problems in the industry, problems with your life, is there anything that your passion for being in this business has cost you personally? I guess I can start by, for me, I don't get a chance to spend enough time with my family. But that's because my dumb ass keeps opening companies up. Like, oh, I can do this, I can do that. So I keep doing that. So, that's my bit of, that's the poison in my passion. I'm doing all this cool stuff, but at the same time, like, my son sees me a little less. And luckily I'm at home, because I used to think, oh man, it'd be cool. I'm at home. I'm working from home. This is awesome. But, it's like I'm a zombie. I'm here, but I'm not quite here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting harassed online for making comics.
No. Yeah, I mean.
That's my problem.
That's your own fault. Oh, you're a girl. I'm just kidding. No, but that's sad because you expected that. You knew that was going to happen.
I think right now my biggest problem is there's too much commercial work coming in that I'm not able to pass off. I'm figuring out how to delegate authority and to move that work off in order to clear a path for the creative end of things. I don't ever feel like I've got enough time to be creative. Yeah. And it's really aggravating, especially, I'm in past 30 years married to the same woman that, that really flat out comes down to tolerance, because she's into comics, and I wouldn't have started a relationship with her if she wasn't, because I learned from my first marriage that lesson. But now I feel that there's still so much going on, and special projects, honeydews, the commercial artwork that is keeping me from properly channeling creative energy into what I really want to do. That's my and if that's poisonous, I don't know. I guess it can be, but I'm starting to sacrifice sleep and I'm watching a lot less TV. I'm eating a lot less in order to try to get to that point where I can actually sit and be creative.
Mark coming through with the hot bombs. He says, yes, it can in my field too. The three heads of a major cosplay group in our area that we book are all going through divorces right now and even banging each other. Toxic situations. Mark.
Oh, yeah.
Are they hot?
That sounds like a sitcom going on.
Yeah, it does. Sounds like a soap opera going on.
Yeah.
Also sounds like a different kind of movie.
Days of our cosplay.
Yeah. You slept with him? In the suit I bought you? This is my fox suit.
And the piece I sewed for you?
Oh man, it's horrible. We shouldn't be picking on them, Mark. We shouldn't be picking on them. I how about you, Mark? Anything that has comics cost you anything in your life, or like sleep, friendships?
Yeah, I mean, nothing to feel like that. But I mean, it is realistic that if you have a regular job and then you have any passion outside of that you want to achieve, you're going to have to put in time that other people don't. There are a lot of people that they get off work and that's it. Now it's time to go hang out. It's time to go sit and relax, take a nap, read a book, chill, talk to family, whatever. And for people that have a passion outside of their regular job, you have to fit it in somewhere. So you're going to have to give up some hours. That oftentimes is sleep, or it's time hanging out with other people. Anybody who's ever really wanted to achieve something, they give up a lot of social stuff in order to get those extra hours. And that's just, it really is the norm for it. Not really, there aren't really another way to do it.
Now JD used to have a beard, but he cut it all off because of stress of comics. He was pulling it out. Tell him, JD. Tell him the story.
Well, it started on the night of June 14th. No. What's funny is that I have probably lost some relationships due to comics when I was younger, because I was just way more obsessive and way more focused on it. And if you weren't involved, I really didn't need you in my life. You know what I mean? That's just what it was. In my early 20s, my late teens, my early 20s, that's what it was. If you weren't involved, dude, you could come or go. That's how focused I was. As I matured, you appreciate, you find out, right? There's this thing that they say, after the age of 30, you start losing friends, right? And after the age of 40, it becomes more difficult to make friends, right? And your circle just shrinks and shrinks and shrinks, right? Until the day you turn around and you're like, oh, damn, where are all my friends? And you you have you and maybe two other people if you're lucky. That's why I appreciate, 2020 was terrible because of COVID, but it introduced me to a much larger community of you guys.
Yeah.
You understand? Because, you guys are the new friends that I've met and I've been associated with, and it's been a fairly large group, So I mean, that's the thing. It's this community that I feel better about. Well, that answers nothing about your question. I'm just saying that now I'm happier. I'm happier than I was before. Yeah. So you can take your nasty little question and shove it in your ear, sir.
I can really relate to what you just said, JD, because I think about the friends that I've had that have been outside of comics. I hardly ever talk to any of them now.
Right.
It's like once a year for their birthday, I'll remember their birthday and chime in. Or if they're active, I got one guy that stood up at my wedding. He's active on Twitter. That's the only time I interact with him, really. Or I'll see him at a con. And most of it is all you guys. It's all my comics buddies. It's all my con buddies. Like, I've got friends who actually live in Michigan, but I only see them at cons.
Yeah.
Since we haven't done cons, I haven't seen these people.
Yeah.
It's incredible. It's crazy. The one thing that's poisoning me right now is like, for the longest time, I was doing fan art for a while. I was making good money. It was killing my soul because I wasn't telling the stories that I needed to tell. I wasn't drawing comics.
Yep.
Now I'm drawing comics. I'm inking for the Wolf Pack, for Justice League Chronicles, Inked God's Hand. I'm coloring for Arrow Comics. I've got the British Bulldog book. I've got Roddy Piper in my rear view mirror. We're doing second printing on that. I've got American Bliss starting up. I'm drawing comics. I'm happy about that. I got a table draw Dinosaur Man until I get some of this stuff off my plate, and it's eating me alive. It's like, I hate doing that, but it's the sacrifices you got to make, and that's some of the stuff. That's kind of the poison there. Is I'm not to the point in my career where I'm free to just do what I'm really passionate about.
Yeah.
But at least I can still say I'm making my living doing comics, and I'm so blessed and so thankful for that, and thankful for all of you guys, everybody in the Indie Volt sphere, Comicsgate sphere. Beyond that, anybody who's supported my work, whether it's the fan art, whether it's the comic, the fact that we can do what we're passionate about at any amount possible and make some more sort of living out of it, that is a first world problem that we should just be on our knees thankful for every damn day. Because there's people who have dreams stuck in a 9-to-5, and they're just going to stay there. And that's not us right now. So thank you guys for being my friends.
Hey, listen. Worse than having dreams and being stuck in a 9-to-5 is meeting those people that have no dreams and are stuck in a 9-to-5.
Oh, amen. Yes.
Trust me, I'm around those people all the time.
I remember when I decided I wanted to do comics. I told this story before, but the quick version is that I pawned my car. And I was like, I'm going to do comics. And I pawned my car. I didn't have to, but I did. I pawned my car because I had friends that would come over to my house all the time, and I was the taxi. I was the Uber. Drive me here, let's go here, let's go there. So I pawned my car, and I took the money. Didn't need it, but I took the money and went and bought books about comics. How to break into this comic, how to do this, how to do that. I bought a bunch of Bern Hogarth books.
Hogarth.
Yeah. And I bought all those.
Hogarth. Yeah.
Just a bunch of books. I mean, I went to Borders, guys. That's how old this was. I went to Borders and I bought these books and ordered some off the internet. I ordered boards from Blue Line Pro. Remember them? I ordered boards from there and got those and sat down. And I remember my friends come knock on the door. Hey, what's going on? Oh yeah, man, my car's in the shop. It wasn't. I took it to the pawn shop, and they were like, "Oh, you don't have your car? Nope. Oh, I'll be back." And they walk off. I didn't see him. And when I went and got my car back, like what, a week and a half later, after I read all these books, and then put my car in the garage so they still wouldn't see it. And I got so much accomplished in 2 weeks. It was astounding. I was shocked about how much content how much I actually got done. Whereas before, I wouldn't have been able to do that. I guarantee you. So for me, it was getting rid of something. They didn't have dreams. They didn't do anything. I do see the McCons. One came up to me. Congratulations. I know this is what you've always wanted to do. Goddamn right it is. Anyway, let's take a look at Mr. Darden's Guano guy, because it's on Kickstarter, correct? Or you on Indiegogo, Mark?
Got it right the first time.
Kickstarter. Okay. All right. That's
what I was not in my head. No,
I'm out on the screen. I was going to it, so.
Oh.
Yeah. All right. There we go. There it is. Guano Guide number 4 plus all 7 comics. Look at that. It's beautiful. I'm bringing it up on screen right now.
Nice.
And boy, I better leave that alcohol alone.
No, hit the other button. The other button.
Yeah. There we go. Guano Guide number 4 plus all 7 other Guano Guide comics. Now explain to us, because I know you always say it. You say that you can explain why it's number 4, but there's 7 comics.
Yeah, because there's an issue 0 and an issue 1/2 and a 1.5 and a 2.5. Now this will be the last one with that confusing stuff, because after this particular Kickstarter crowdfunder, all the other issues, issue 1 through 4 will remain, but the other ones are going to get collected. So I'm going to bunch those up, put them into a short story collection.
Ooh.
Then there'll be 4 issues. Well, next time there'll be 5 issues in a trade paperback, because it'll be for issue 5.
See, I'm not sure I should let you say that on air. They want people to know that you're going to do a trade. There's no trade.
Wow,
It's
get out and get these, get these last individual floppy copies.
I'm sorry. I hear floppy copies, and I just. Now this. Let me see. Let me scroll over here. Let me play the video here. Hold on.
Oh yeah, there's a video.
Hi, I'm Mark Darden, and I traveled the galaxy to bring you the funnest Guano Guy comic yet. I gathered together adventure, cuteness, sorry buddy, and aliens. Let's get some of that in there. The cook-up, the wildest Guano Guy adventure yet. Did all of this in my space boat. Oh, it's ready. It's the biggest Guano Guy comic ever. A monster of a book so big you'll need to step back to read it. Not actual size of comic. The Guano Guy comic is filled with big adventures, big accusations, and the big sleep. The big sleep! Oh, it's the most fun comic your friend has never heard of. So help them and me by joining the Guano Guy campaign today. Guano Guy for Galactic Emperor.
Nice.
That was pretty good. That was good.
Yeah.
The very expensive video. A lot of editing, a lot of special effects, a lot of afterworks,
Yeah.
Heavy
costume to
costuming.
do this.
Say again?
So it cost a lot of money to do this.
Oh yeah. I mean, they had to hire you.
Yeah. I am not cheap on myself either. I do not cut me any deals.
No. And nor should you.
No. You do not want to know what I had to do to get my services.
So this right here, this I love this piece of art here. Now this is you can see Guano Guy in there. He's these guys outside are waiting to do him some harm. I like this guy's skull rings, 2 multicolored skull rings. Never a good thing.
Yeah, that's Dice Cube, and this is his Rolling Bones. His Dice Gang, and they're all armed with sci-fi weaponry. We don't know if any of it actually works. It might just be, the actual pieces from sets.
Is this the cover that we're looking at? Because this is really nice.
Yeah, this is the cover. Yeah, both the artist and the colorist did a great job. It's so awesome to have sort of those muted but brighter colors inside, so you definitely have the impression that the lights are on in there while the other guys are out here in the shadows waiting to jump him.
Yeah.
And one of his sidekicks is out there too. He doesn't even know why he's there. But he's kind of old. His memory's not so good.
I like the fact that they're all hanging out outside. And also, it's a fire escape. I live in Michigan where there's very few fire escapes, at least around me.
They don't want you to get out?
No. You're doomed. You can jump out the window. Apparently, the grass is soft. Now you've got how many days left in this campaign? Let me go check. Oops. Okay, 31 days left. 31 days left, guys. Now Mark is almost at his total. He's asking for 1,500. He's at 1,361. 47 backers, 31 days to go. So a lot of time to make this happen. A lot of times to push this way over.
Yeah, I hope that's what happens, because there's shown below, but there's the first print when we get to 2,000. It's a free print, and then I've got another really cool print after that by the VG's artist Ryan English, who also does a short story in this, and then I got a print after that by the artist from Gladstone School for World Conquerors, who's an image book I was a real fan of. And if it keeps going, I got an even bigger, better print after that I'm not even willing to announce. It's that big.
And,
so let's get those goals so I can hand out these free prints.
Now those prints are how big are they? How big will they be?
They will be at least the size of a comic backing board, at least.
All right.
Might go bigger, but they'll at least be. So that's 10.5 by 6.75.
Now here's Randy making a special appearance.
Yeah.
Get an education.
Yeah, that's right. Get a great education, Guano guy.
That's the clipboard.
Yeah, Guano guy looks like he's
psych help too.
Yeah. It looks like he needs some like he ate some bad food though. He's
we got a salesman who's trying to sell a planetary despot ruler, a anti-life gun, so that he'll feel good about life and then have to off himself. It's a good plan, you know. A little reverse psychology on him. That's in the story above. Sorry, that doesn't make sense with that one there.
Let me see here, man. I'm sorry, my computer's acting very weird.
Bring up just slightly. Yeah, up. Yep. This one. That was 3 panels from it. That's a good little 6-pager. And above that, we have the return of Guano Guy's original sidekick, who he abandoned in a sewer to a bunch of sewer monsters. We get to see what happened to him.
He deserves it. He deserves what's going to happen.
Oh, he deserves way more, yes. Then we got another cool piece of art. A lot of these were by the guys who worked on Image Grand Disaster. So I roped them all into working on the Guano Guy after we got to work together on that. So below that, we got a tic-tac train track where Mr. Marvelous Man plays tic-tac-toe to save a damsel, and he is not good at games. Well, yeah, there's a lot of fun. I think it's like about 250 pages. And there you can watch the old videos that I did. I went ahead and put those up because those are little story bits, and they're fun to watch.
Let's see here.
Hey, Mark Darden, and boy, have I got a fun little thing for you today in The Guano Guy. And this one, Guano Guy, is pep talking himself after, of course, the monologuer lets you, the reader, know what's going on in the story.
But your popularity chart could look a lot more like this if you went out and actually stopped some crime.
Could a selfless act of heroism garner me the attention I so desperately deserve? Yes, I think maybe it could.
Agreeing with himself mightily, Guano Guy sets off to actually fight some crime.
I'm off to fight some crime.
I already told them that. Shut up, existential monologuer. Everyone knows you're not real. I am too. Please believe in me.
And this is another reading from The Guano Guy. Check it out on Kickstarter.
Now, how do you write all those down before? I mean, obviously, you must have a script you're reading from when you do them. But do you plan out your videos? Like, how long before you film them?
Oh, yeah. I mean, that was literally reading a scene from the comic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that was already written. You know, it practically writes itself because it was already written. So that was a couple pages from the comic. The work was doing, you know, the voices and putting in the sound effects and layering in the pictures to go along with it. But that's you know, that's all the program. Everybody can do it.
And then the Guano Guy add-on poster by Alex Rigel, who says, "You're not giving it. You got it on your wall. You're not giving yours up."
Oh no, the original stays in my house, but you can get a wonderful copy of it. You did a great job. I mean, you got Dice Cube again and the Rolling Bones and all the Guano boys and girl and old man who are very important and are getting a bigger role in the comic. And of course, the Guano Guy. Free print. Well, it will be free if we hit that goal.
You know, I keep joking about it, but I'd like to see Eric's take on Guano Guy. Eric, you need to make that happen, at least for a morning warm up.
Oh, sure.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be pretty cool. Sorry to volunteer you, Eric, but
yeah,
you know, that's what I do most of the time. Like, you know,
I've been voluntold.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
You know, I do that to Eric a lot. Like, I don't want to draw, but you know who should.
In the military, they taught you real quick. Don't volunteer for anything. Never raise your hand.
Yeah.
You will not be remembered and you will not be rewarded. Just try to hang in the back. If they start looking around, duck down.
Yeah. And there I am making good on my promise. My Indie Vote Bitches Be Crazy promise. There it is right there. Also got in there on Grand Design. So I'm a man of my word. Man of my word.
I tell you what, Varian, if you design it, figure it out, I'll draw it.
Okay. Well, I'll start doing the I'll do the rough layouts, and then I'll do them too. I'll do rough layouts all day. That's easy. Let's see, what did Ray just say? I'm sorry, Ray. The poison is being around people who don't share your care for your vision, then become the anchor to your progress because they don't understand it. Oh, it's true. That's very true. That's very true. When when you, like JD said, people who don't have a dream, don't have the passion, they can become anchors, and all of a sudden you can't move forward. You wonder why. It's because that person is holding you back, or a team of people are holding. It can be rough. But because I had, I had friends that were like, they were not moving. They did not, but they didn't want to do comics anyway.
As a former sailor, I hear anchor and I think positive. I understand they don't mean it that way.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I think like, oh shoot, time to sleep. You can't just let the boat go drifting out. You gotta anchor it for your own good. But like a storm's coming, you need to go ahead and anchor down the boat so you don't just get taken away by the storm. But I realize that's not what they mean.
So yeah, Guano Guy will be you'll be shipping this worldwide too, isn't it? Worldwide, or is it
Yeah, I did make the bottom one, the full one, worldwide, because I think that's that's the one where you're getting so many books, it starts to even out the shipping at least a little. I mean, the bigger the package gets, the more the shipping's not going to seem so horrible. And I'm sorry, I can't do anything about that shipping. That's not me picking that.
Oh yeah,
you can.
Yeah. The shipping is rough right now. I was looking at some shipping rates today, and it was ridiculous. So,
yeah, I wish some other countries had print on demand because a lot of the creators outside the U.S. can benefit from the fact that there are some stores and printing companies here in the U.S. that'll print it and ship it for you. So that really opens up their access to the U.S. market, which is great for them. I ain't against them getting it. I just wish there was a little more.
Joe says Mark is the only creator that has casting couch for himself. The role in a video. I don't know if he's home.
Yeah.
Don't know if he's home and creator. We've all kind of casting couch ourselves at some point.
Oh.
Come here, Mr.
That's
Grant.
what I was alluding to earlier.
Yeah. No, I don't want to.
Please, no, not again. You want the pot, don't you?
We're horrible. We'll cancel by tomorrow.
Because it's not something I would ever do. Not real.
I think that I remember someone saying to me once that
I finally found it.
Oh, Lola found her font. Congratulations, Lola.
Awesome.
Nice.
What was it called?
Rebel Pixie.
Rebel Pixie.
Of course.
Of course.
So our dog's name.
Sorry, Street Fighter.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. So yeah, $1,361. Did you go up? Let me see here. Let me hit reload. Because sometimes they I guess mine is in there. $1,361 of a $1,500 goal. You're gonna get there, no problem. We'll be checking in too. Mark, is there anything else you want to talk to us about? I know you got Image Grand Design. You want to show it off?
Oh, absolutely. And actually, let me do a screen share so I can show you some bigger, better. Just 1 second.
Sure.
Fire that to you.
And Indie Vote Radio, thank you for listening in. 92,102 listening. Thank you.
We appreciate each and every one of you out there. What's our country, number one country right now?
Right now it is France.
France.
Oui.
They're like, what? What did he say? Cut him off. No, they probably heard those French jokes he was making.
There we go.
They're probably like, we'll teach them. There we are.
So in the time that we had, because we had some time to keep working on stuff, so the cover artist completed his original vision for the cover, which is cool. So the digital has that, which we're very excited about. And he did it. Basically, the covers, there's a 3-cover system that's essentially a story in itself. It was really neat. He did this triptych cover.
Yeah, it's cool.
Because the front, then the back, and the pursuit.
Yeah.
So I get it now. I get it now. That's
yeah. He put some thought into that.
Yeah.
You have to too.
Yeah. And I have a the girl that is saying fuck. There is a little small bootleg toy that looks exactly like her from the Dollar Tree years ago, and I'm like, what is it? And I'm like, what is it? And I bought it because it looks so weird. But that's one of the things about a lot of these toys now. I know that who was it? They were saying they sent their books to get printed overseas, and now they're finding their books over on the China eBay.
Yeah, that's tough. And they, if you watch Shark Tank, there's quite a few entrepreneurs that tell that tale too, where they worked out a deal with a company over there for any kind of product, and then find out, then they just ripped the product off, and now they're selling my product, but better than I can because they don't have to do the research development. But that's been a long-standing issue with technology and everything.
Now, how many pages is Grand Disaster?
So it's 216. Because we kept working and we created another 11 pages of content, and there's I will say this with complete love, there is an all thriller, no filler artist section that's a nice 15-page bonus to it, and it's all pieces. Like I put it together and I flip through it adoring what's in there, and am sad when I get to the last page because it's just such good bonus material. It's incredible pieces. This was another one by the cover artist. He did a really cool near silent piece.
Yeah. There's no dialogue in that piece in this page.
Yeah, which works. I think is great because it's a zombie. This is horror right here. So, you're not getting anything to break the terror.
I was going to ask you something about this, but I'll ask it off. I'll ask it off air.
Okay.
Ask it off air. Because I had thought about it. And I'm like, you know what? No, Varian, show some professionalism. Ask it off air. That type of question. That kind of question is too scantless. This artwork is fantastic. I like the green and purple playing with each other. The colors. That's what I'm talking about. Color theory. You guys will know about it.
Yeah, and we got, there's 60 creators on this. So there's so many people's work to see in it. A lot of people that spent a long time. I've been working on this since last May. So it's really nice to just put a pin in it and be done and let the world see it. And we're just raising money for the Hero Initiative, which is going great. So far, $3,000 has been raised in total.
Cool.
Between this and the grand design that came out first, and now Disaster, and so we're just trying to raise what we can and let the world enjoy the work.
And the Grand Disaster and Grand Design feature any character that's been under the Image label for any time.
Yeah, that ever passed through. Yeah. They were all. We tried to include just about all of them. If they were there for a month or whatever, or they had a cameo, it played in.
That's cool.
It's really fun to that guy.
And you said not Jim, Rob seen it and liked it.
Yeah, Eli actually, who operated as publisher, got a request for it and sent a copy to his house, wherever that is.
Okay.
And and got a post about it that he had enjoyed it and appreciated, and we'd gotten some good feedback from Larson as well, which is really cool. I mean, I think that's just, for a lot of us, that's so fun that we did this big fan project, and to hear that any of them like it is just, it's touching. Yeah. And hopefully, I mean, to hear that Rob liked it is awesome. You know, I hope he just was completely pickled and enjoyed flipping through the pages and seeing the work. Because, I mean, he and the other image creators did so much to like color my childhood. It's nice to think that I was a part of anything that might have touched their life.
And if people want to pick this up, they can go to imagegranddisaster.com.
Image Grand Design.
imagegranddesign.com for both issues. You can, and they're $5 a piece. Money goes to the Hero Initiative. So, you know, it's a good cause. And the Hero Initiative takes care of artists who, at one point, you know, maybe they didn't, you know, like they weren't taken care of as well as they should have been. Their contracts were kind of predatory. And now they're, you know, and they help with life-saving operations, keeping the lights on, putting food on the table for these artists. They kept you entertained for years and years and years. So
yeah, absolutely. These guys did a ton to really help foster our imaginations and give us awesome stuff to read, and sometimes in very tough times, and a break from the day or a break from a bad situation, and for them to have not been properly rewarded for it, while higher ups may have made a ton off of it, or companies made a lot off it, is very sad.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's a small thing we can do to try to help out.
Yeah, I agree. Image Grand Disaster. You can pick your copy of Image Grand Design. Huh? Okay. All right. I will make sure the link goes in there, Pops. I'll make sure it goes in the in the chat and in the description of the video. I can go back on YouTube and do that. There we go. But I'll put it here in the chat too, so everyone can see it. And go check it out if you have not already. Mark, where can people find you at, sir?
So they can find me on Facebook, just Mark Darden, and generally I'm posting and talking with people about comics. That's my main love in life, so that's what I'm doing. But if they just want to follow the Guano Guy comic and hear about that, then, you know, Guano Guy's got his own Facebook page. Those are the two best places. That's where I really interact, so I prefer to send you there.
Cool. Mr. JD Calderon.
I can be found on Facebook under JD Calderon, Twitter, Instagram, DeviantArt, all under JD Calderon. You can find me on the TheOriginalChronicles.com, TallTalesOnline.com, and I also have my own YouTube channel, Indie Comics Explained, where, you know, I think all of these fine folks have been on at one point or another. Thank you.
It was a fun interview.
Thank you.
Eric.
Hey guys, you can find me at Dreaded Dinosaur on all the social medias that matter. If you're on some social media, you type in Dreaded Dinosaur, I'm not there, it don't matter. You know, Twitter, Instagram, all that kind of jazz. You can also go over to erichodson.com. I just updated my storefront with some of the newest wrestling pieces that I've done, and you can help me pay the rent by buying a few prints. Also, you can head over to Pro Wrestling Tees, pick up the last remaining copies of the first printing of Roddy Piper, Kilted Avenger, and put that into your collection. Otherwise, you can find me back here again next Tuesday. We have taken it came from Webtoon off Wednesday nights for Monday nights, yeah, for a couple of weeks at least, because we're rebranding and reformatting the show. Barry and I are still working out the details for that. So until we're ready to relaunch that show, you'll just see me here on Indie Vault on Tuesdays, and maybe the occasional Thursday if I'm up and I've had my coffee.
Nice.
And our indie princess Lola, her campaign's got 5 days left. 1880. Yeah, she would like to hit 2,000. So what do you?
I'm trying really hard to get $120 for this.
Lola, you gotta be excited. It's been a long campaign. 5 days left, so go out there and push, girl.
I'm super excited. I can't wait to get the book in my hand.
Push. Everyone is talking about different. Everyone, a lot of people talking about. That fetish sticker pack, which I thought was pretty cool. But Daphne Lage has a print in there too that you can only get when you back the campaign. Which that was an announcement. That wasn't something that you said that you were going to do. That was like a special.
That was a special.
Yeah.
That was a special when we reached 30 backers.
That's cool. That's cool.
Nice.
Lore, there it is. There's the cover. Very sexy cover. I like Chastity on there. She's cute. And there's a Lola wraparound cover too, which is
she's cute too.
Yeah. I thought it was weird because I seen that one climbing, and I'm like, hey, these people are weird. They want a picture of Lola. I see. I wish I could put myself on the cover and make money. It doesn't happen with guys, I guess. That's okay though. But there it is. Two of the perks to come with it. You can select one or both. The bottle key opener, or a bottle opener key, which is it's a key that plays a part in the comic. It's actually in the logo. If you look at the logo, there's a key there. That's that actual key. And Lola has bottle openers based on the design of that key, as well as the ring from one of the characters in the comic wears. So yeah, there it is. Player's ring, bunch of stuff. If you guys get the 2000, she gets to do those holographic stickers. Is that what you want, Lola? Is that what you're trying to get around to? You want those stickers?
The stickers are awesome. I've seen the mock-ups already, but I want to reach that number. I'd be so happy to reach that number.
Again, t-shirts, Lure t-shirts, $25 for the t-shirt. Either t-shirt. There's a Shocker Comic t-shirt. There's a Lure t-shirt. $25 for each one. Fetish A to Z is another perk that comes with it. You can add that on if you want, or you can, there's different tiers. She's taken a letter of each alphabet and put a fetish with it. Just that artist depict what that fetish is. I did the cover for this one, and I have a piece inside of the book.
Someone else on this panel still owes me a piece.
Oh.
What? No. Not me.
Whoa.
That's Zentai.
It must be Eric.
It's me.
And then Unsolicited, where Lola has taken all of the dick pics she's received from people on the internet who want to be asses, and she said, "I'm going to make money off of this and monetize my harassment."
I can't say I'll be that is an allure for me. It's funny, but
well, I tell people, if you don't like that book, you don't have to get it. But if you do get it, I guarantee you, there's someone in your family. There's a perverted aunt, uncle, grandma, who will say, "Yeah, give me that book of collection of penises." This is what these guys get. She told me though, Lola's working on Unsolicited too, because she's got enough content for enough. But she's actually going to. She could actually put another piece in there where she was going to just put dicks of the internet in there with no penises, just their faces. Creators that she's met. Over time. Look at this dick. Look at this dick. Look at that grace. She should do it. I'm telling you, Lola, get it done. But that's a little.
I'll get in trouble for that one.
Yes. Drawn by Dave the Supreme.
At least dress them up. Put a little hat on them. Maybe put them in an Easter basket with some eggs. Send them on an adventure.
Hey, well, I'll play the intro.
Just on swing sets and having fun around the world. Maybe there's two of them that are going up and down on a seesaw, and then one of them gets launched off and flips away.
Lands in the street or somewhere. Let me play the video here.
Wait, I was looking for this.
It all started with an invitation.
It all started with an invite. Then you wake up in a cage. You would never expect what happens next. Who lives? Who dies? Are you ready to get lured?
And Lola did that video all by her little self.
The wife still swears that she doesn't know who did the voice on that.
That's you know, it's funny because we can all once you know it's you, it's like, oh yeah. I think the ladies are a little amused by it. They're like, hee, Randy has a sexy voice. Ooh. They think that's sexy. They should hear Scott Rosemont. That's sexy. That's a velvet teddy bear. Anyway, goddamn Rosemont. Anyway, Lure, overall Indiegogo, check it out, ladies and gentlemen. Go over there. It's an adult comic, not for the kiddies. Don't buy it and hand it to your child. You'll regret it. Randy, where can they find you at, sir?
Oh, you can find me on Facebook under Randy Zimmerman. In fact, right now I'm having a conversation with storyboard artist Roger Ram from India. Okay. So, hey, Roger, how you doing? I just told him about the podcast and he tuned in. Okay. But you can find me on Twitter as Randy Zim on Twitter. You can look for our LinkedIn for Arrow Comics 4.0, where you'll be sent to all the other social sites. Linktree. Sorry, did I say LinkedIn? No, not LinkedIn. Linktree. Sorry. You can go to the big ones are the Arrow Comics 4.0 Facebook page and YouTube channel, where there'll be some new content up there eventually. We are up on Instagram, and we will have more artwork and a lot more things to announce here in the upcoming months. So you do not want to miss it. Go over there and like those pages and follow over on Facebook so that you don't miss any of the announcements. There's some great fun stuff coming up here in the next couple months. So it's going to be a lot of fun, good times.
And we talked about people, making comics. If you are making comics and you are shipping them out, make sure you use Gemini mailers. Save some money while you do so by when you go to GeminiComicSupply.com, use coupon code VOLT10. That's VOLT10. Save yourself some money on ordering those Gemini mailers. I just got some books the other day. One was shipped in Gemini mailer, came in pristine condition. The other one was shipped in a facsimile Gemini mailer, and while it did, get here, it was worse for wear. It had been jostled around a lot. One of the pins came off and was skirting the bottom of the container. So and you can tell, there's a quality difference there. When you hold them side by side, you can tell that sometimes these aren't when they're the companies that copy the design, they don't copy the quality. So Volt 10, save yourself some money over there on those Gemini mailers. And also make sure you go sign up for the Indie Vote Comic Awards, September 18th, 2021. Coming to you live from Utica, Michigan, and Dave & Buster's. We will be having a live event there. We'll be giving out some awards for indie comics. You can get your comic. There's still time. Get your comic recognized. Get your comic in there to be recognized. Go sign up at IndieVoteAwards.com. There is a small fee. That fee goes to Autism Speaks, while helping them out with, we want to give them some money because they help autistic individuals. People in my life have autism. I have Asperger's. So that wasn't diagnosed. I was 30 though. I was 30 years old before they told me, hey, you have Asperger's. I'm like, oh, that explains so much. I demand apologies from everyone. Everyone. Damn it. I had to go find out I was a 30-year-old man.
And the great thing about these awards is that it's a judged event. It's not a popularity contest. The reason you're paying that entry fee is to bring on the serious people who want to have serious consideration with the judges. The judges will look over all of the books and grade them and then decide on quality, not on popularity, what books deserve these awards. So there will be one award that'll be a popularity contest, but the rest of the awards, the vast majority of the awards are all going to be judged on their quality and merit. The reason we're doing these awards is to raise awareness and to point out the quality and the phenomenal works that are coming out of the indie and alternative markets right now.
Yeah, and it's shaping up to be a great event. Hall of Fame, Randy's in there. 2 other people going in there. I've been waiting to announce them. I keep forgetting to ready to put the video together so I can do that. But I will do it. I promise you. Next week's Indie Vote will be maybe a little bit longer because we got some special things we're going to be doing on that show. So next week's Indie Vote Live Wire, prepare to sit for a little bit longer.
You have been warned.
You've been warned. You've been warned.
Gotta get the McFarlane coloscopy back.
Yeah. Just put a. Well, never mind. I was gonna say, yeah, I'll shut up. Thank you for watching, guys. Indie Vote will be back with you Thursday morning. Randy and I'll be back at 9 a.m. Geekgasm tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Is that correct, Lola? As of right now, okay. Indie Vote's Geekgasm 9 p.m. tomorrow, and then special issues will follow Sunday Funnies on Sunday. Sunday Funnies at 9 a.m. Special issues at 1 p.m.
And all of those times are Eastern Standard Times, so adjust your clocks accordingly.
That's right. And you want to send us some questions, do so at IndieVoteLive@IndieVote.com. Include Indie Vote Live in the subject, and please keep those emails to 90 words or less so I can put them on a card and make fun of you. If you want to join that final radio number today, which got up to 96,404. 96,404 people listening. Thank you. Indie Vote Live or IndieVote.com. You can listen to us live on Indie Vote Radio. You can get that on Google Play, Streamer or the TuneIn app on iPhone. You can ask the beautiful, wise. I'm gonna mute her before she'll answer me. The beautiful and wise Alexa. Don't answer me. Okay. And you can listen in live also on indievote.com. There's a player there on the front, on the main screen. Halfway down the page, you can listen in live as well. And then on IndieVote TV on the Roku or Roku-enabled devices, free indie movies, free indie content, even some IndieVote content that's not on the YouTube anymore. We took off of there because they were like, you can't say it on our platform. And we said, fine, we'll take it off your platform and put it on our own where you have no power here. So it's been really cool. And we got a lot of stuff coming there. We kind of got pushed back because of the pandemic. There were some things we wanted to have on there already, but pandemic said you can't be around people. So it's got kind of difficult to film some things, but it's coming, we promise. So make sure you download IndieVote TV today. I need to update this graphic too. I think I'll do that tonight. I want to spend time updating graphics. This graphic is no good at all.
We've only had it for 2 years.
Yeah. It's time to redo it. We should redo the graphic.
Don't forget Liberty Entertainment Distribution at www.ledg.us.
Yep, that one. I have a new one for that actually, but so I got to get rid of that one. That's an old graphic. That one has to go.
That's still got its charm. Look at that.
It's fuzzy.
Yeah, very true.
It's fuzzy, and okay. I made a new one. I just didn't upload it, but I uploaded it in the other one, just not this one. There it is. Yep, Liberty.
Oh, look at that. That's nice and sharp.
Much nice.
www.ledg.us. Go over there and sign up to get your indie comics in shops across the country today. Guys, thank you for being here with us. We want to thank our guest, Mark Darden, JD Calderon. Thank you guys for coming on. Buy from them. Buy their comics on Still JD's wife's line. Buy indie comics, especially ours, and my line, which is try to leave this industry a better place than you found it. We'll see you back here soon. And that's it. I'll take us out.
Take care, everyone. Stay healthy.
I'll take us out. I promise. I will. Take us out. Here we go.
Other button.
Hit that button.
Have a good night.
Yay! Think about what you've accomplished.
What? What the fuck?